All right. Uh, Sorry about that intro. Just getting feeling some hue this morning, so had to throw that in there. All right. So hello, Communication 301 students. My name is Carter Berry. Today I will be giving you guys some things that I wish I knew coming into this Communication 301 class, and I'll be giving you some tips on how to survive public speaking. So my first tip, I think I personally am saying this because I know a lot of my friends and classmates don't do this, but read the book, honestly. You have a lot of quizzes at the beginning of the semester, and if you actually take the time to read the book, you'll have a way better understanding of how to not only how to properly get good grades on the quizzes, obviously, but if you read the book, then you'll be able to know how to actually write your speech and be better at preparing for your speeches and giving your speeches. The next tip I would give to a Communication 301 student coming into this class is check Canvas daily. I know that might seem like a daunting task having to keep up with it every day, but it's honestly not that hard. If you check it and you notice that nothing's not due that day, then you don't have to do it that day. But still, I would say personally, I like to check Canvas daily so I am aware of all the current announcements and everything that's going on with the class, so I'm not missing any assignments. Next, this is a big one. I would say read the announcements and checklists from Prelip first. So when she's assigning these projects, she normally gives them in modules, but or in checklists. So if you read the top checklist, it gives you the due dates of when everything's due and a description underneath. So it's really helpful because she'll drop a big checklist, and if you don't read that, then a lot of times you'll become confused about when stuff's due, when you're supposed to reply to classmates, stuff like that, but it's all listed underneath her checklist. So I would say read the checklist first. The next tip I would say is try to connect with some of your classmates. So being that you're in a communications class, being comfortable with the people that you're around, I feel will make it a lot better and a lot easier for you when you're going to give speeches in front of them. Because if you are going to give a speech in front of a crowd of people you have no idea, obviously you're going to be way more nervous. But if you know your classmates by their names and maybe you have a few of their cell phone numbers so you can get in touch with them if you ever have any questions, then you'll just have a better connection with your audience and you won't be as nervous presenting in front of them because you know who they are and they're not. You talk to them every day, so giving a speech to them isn't much different, I think. Next, I would say a really big tip for this communications class is when you're giving speeches inside the classroom is try your best not to be nervous. And the way that I do this is I just think of, well, everyone else in this class is going to have to give the same exact speech, right? They're all going to have to stand up at the podium and deliver a 6-minute speech or a 5-minute speech just like I am. So why should I be nervous going in front of them when they're all going to be going in front of me? It's not like I'm the only one giving a speech. That would be a situation where I feel like I would be maybe have nerves, but because everyone else is going to be giving a speech throughout the semester, the same type of speech, whether it's persuasive, informative, what have you, it just makes it a lot easier because I'm not nervous because I know everyone else has to go through what I'm going through. So because we're all in it together, I feel like there's no need to be nervous. I just always try to remind myself that. I would say a big one to help with the nerves, if for giving speeches in the classroom, is to practice your speech with your visual aids and your outline in a binder before the speech, probably a few times. So I normally like to practice this. I actually set up a little podium and I'll have my binder and I'll do it standing and I'll act like I'm giving it in front of the class. I think this is really helpful because it's practicing exactly how it would be for when you're in the classroom. And if you have practiced it before, then you'll be able to succeed when it actually comes down to it. Last but certainly not least tip, I would say, is when you're going to give speeches for this class or assignments in general, I would say pick topics that interest you. So for my first speech, I'm a really big fan of soccer. I've played soccer my entire life. So I was able to talk about a soccer team. And this was really interesting to me. It's something I'm passionate about. And it just made it a lot easier. For one, because you're going to have to research and then you're going to have to prepare the outline. It's kind of a long process from going from the start to actually presenting a speech in this class. So you definitely want to pick topics that interest you so you won't feel so much like it's a chore, you'll more get enjoyment out of doing it, and you'll be excited to do it. And if you pick a topic that interests you, then your audience will definitely be able to tell if you're more passionate about it, because your eyes sort of light up, your heart starts beating a little faster, maybe you're talking a little bit quicker, because you're just really passionate about this subject. So if you can pick topics that you're passionate about, it will just be a better speech for you and for the audience. So those were my tips for how to survive public speaking, and those were all the things that I wish I knew coming into the class. For all of you future Communication 301 students, I wish you luck, and follow these tips and you should be good to go. Thank you.